On the uncharacteristically wet and cold afternoon of May 29th, 2021, Capital Limited Productions would make the trek out to Maryland's Walkersville Southern Railroad for their steam weekend. Since 2012, it's been a tradition that for a few weekends in late May and early June, one of the restored steam locomotives from the Grambling Works in Indiana would truck in one of their engines to lead trips along the 6.72-mile-long section of the ex-Pennsylvania Railroad branch line. This year's visitor would be ex-Jeddo Coal Co. number 85. On the Saturday evening of the second weekend, a Railfan photo charter special is held with the engine, and it consists of passenger cars. However, this year would be different. In conjunction with the WNS's 30th anniversary as a tourist line, the 1928 product of the Vulcan Iron Works would be hauling a freight consist behind it for this year's photo special. Number 85, nicknamed Mack by the Gramblings, John and his son Barney, would perform several run-bys at many scenic stops along the line for rail fans. Join Capital Limited Productions as number 85, who we will refer to as Mack for the rest of the production, performs splendidly in Rainy Day Steve in Walkersville, a 30th anniversary celebration. Our first action for the day is the Walkersville Southern diesel engine, number 45, pulling up ahead with the passenger consist. The rail fans would ride in this, as the only thing 85 would be pulling that would hold passengers is a single caboose. 45's consist included 2 sparsely populated open gondola cars, 3 ex-Long Island Railroad commuter cars from 1915, which most chose to ride in on this dreary day, and a caboose, which a lucky few were also allowed inside. Mack would be following behind as an extra, with 1 boxcar, 2 covered hoppers, and a Pennsy N5 caboose. While we're riding through the Maryland farmland, we can talk a little bit about the WNS's history. The Pennsylvania Railroad had the line constructed between 1969, and 1972 for the Frederick Secondary Branch just after the U.S. Civil War. The line ran between Columbia, PA and Frederick, Maryland, passing through York and Hanover, Pennsylvania, and then Taneytown, Kenmar, Woodsboro, and of course Walkersville in Maryland. Farmers along the branch sent milk and eggs along the train to markets in the towns, while passengers were hauled to Frederick for the day or traveled further up north into the big cities. As we've gone over many times, the railroads went down the tubes in the 1950s and 60s due to planes and automobiles, and even the Pennsy, who was once known as the standard railroad of the world, couldn't stop the march of progress. After a failed merger with the New York Central and New Haven railroads in 1968, the Penn Central would go bankrupt in 1972. That same year, Hurricane Agnes would sweep through the area, completely destroying the bridge over the Monocacy River, stopping all rail service 2 miles south of Walkersville, and the entire line was put up for sale, with the state of Maryland purchasing the portion of track that we are now going over today. only utilizing the section north of Walkersville. And for 20 years, the line was left abandoned. Not all hope was lost, as throughout the early to mid 1990s, volunteers for the newly formed Walkersville Southern Railroad would clear tracks of weeds, bushes, and other debris and reconstruct the Montecasey River Bridge, with the first excursions being ran in 1995. In 2009, the Maryland Department of Transportation would grant the W&S 3 more miles of track north of the station, which now has limited excursions being run, bringing us to the present day, where the W&S runs many events such as their Steam Weekends, Jesse James Days, At the Throttle for diesels, Easter Bunny trains, and dinner trains. It is a very popular tourist operation in the Fredericksburg area. The first two run-bys would take us southbound to the private crossing at Barracks Farm, where two tractors were set up by the track to create the scene. A little tank engine shifting a local freight train up and down the old Pennsy branch during the mid-50s. Mack was also wearing a Pennsy 3 chime for extra authenticity, although personally, I would have preferred a Banshee. Now let's watch the action. Mack would back up again, so 45 could pick up the passengers and take us to our next stop, Rotorex Crossing, where a 1956 Chevy Bel Air would be standing by to help convey the changing times of the 50s, where the rails gave way to the roads, and instead of passenger cars, people drove to places in their fancy new automobiles. The next run-by would take place by the Montecasey River Bridge.
Hey guys, you gotta come back. You gotta come back. Thanks. Quiet on the set.
The last run-by along the main line would take place at Harmony Grove, where there would be 2 cameras set up.
You are welcome. Move faster.
Number 45 and the passenger cars come to return us back up north to the Walkersville station, where 2 more run-bys with number 85 would be staged. During these run-bys, a man with a red oil lamp would pose by the crossing, and a Chevy would be parked by the station.
You can start taking a picture of the other car there.
old Mack would give us one final hurrah before the end of the day.
Hey, so we're doing another one.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'll tell you the story one day.
Okay. Oh, stop moving.
Sorry.
Yeah, what's up?
Video, please.
And that was the end of our day at the Walkersville Southern Railroad, and the end of the first ever Railfan Photo Charter Special recorded by Capital Limited Productions. Now, enjoy some pictures from the event.